Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure for me to be here. Well, this is not the average audience I'm finding every day. I'm working for the automotive industry, as you can imagine. So it's great, really, to be here. Well, the purpose of my presentation is to show very briefly and to share very briefly with you a different approach to gender equality that comes from an open innovation center working for the automotive industry. Well, the automotive industry, to start with, it's a very challenging industry. There's a record in production in cars every year in the world. I think we produced 87 million last year, and the forecast for 2017 already, it's 100 million vehicles. Well, this is a challenge every time. It's a relevant sector also for the European economy, being responsible for almost 20 million of the jobs in Europe, and also for 25% of the R&D investment. This means that the automotive industry is the first investor in R&D. But getting closer to AIC, where our center is based in the Basque Country, I think it's also interesting to understand why the center was born there, to understand a little bit about the economical tissue and the situation of the region. The Basque Country has a long industrial tradition and strong capacity for self-transformation, has been responsible for the development of a leading automotive industry. We have 300 companies that represent 17% of the regional GDP, and we have something like more than 600 plants already worldwide in 30 countries. This long industrial tradition has been able to lead the creation of the AIC, which, as I mentioned before, it's an open innovation center for the car industry. It was opened just in 2009, so it's just a very young center. It gives a different approach to innovation because we are working with all the value chain, from the industry to the research centers, universities. They are all working together to shorten the time to market. This means we are working in all the innovation life cycle, from the universe of the ideas to the creation of a new product, or even the creation of a new business. But let me show a very brief video which explains very quickly how do we work in AIC. Please, video.
AIC is a European centre generating value for the automotive industry based on the concept of open innovation, where businesses improve competitiveness through cooperation. Clearly market-oriented, it integrates knowledge, technology and industrial development under one umbrella. To encourage and consolidate cooperation, members locate their training, R&D and industrial development units at the AIC facilities, where they work in an independent but coordinated way to come up with projects of common interest in a broad range of areas. To date, the project has attracted many international organizations, including vehicle makers, suppliers, research centers, engineering and training centers. AIC has 37,000 square meters of modern facilities where businesses can work and use the center's own equipment, besides sharing the knowledge generated between the teams based there. This pioneering center is clearly oriented towards targets per project. Competitive intelligence is one of its major capabilities, with specific sector analyses. Specific training programs at all levels for new professional profiles, plus a drive to attract talented people. Product design and development, systems production and integration, and a whole host of projects in areas like vehicle electrification, electronics, vehicle weight reduction, etc. And to end, attracting new projects, developing technologies, and new business creation. AIC, Automotive Intelligence Center, a unique value generation center.
Thank you very much for your attention. You will be most welcome if you want to visit AIC. But, well, let's focus now on women presence in the Basque country. We have a friendly environment. In the Basque country, there is a long tradition of working women taking lead and used to take decisions. Besides, there is a strong and sustained commitment of the local and regional administration. We are already in the 6th Equity Action Plan over the last 25 years, and it's supported by real examples of implementation of gender equity in institutions. But if we come back to the automotive industry, the figures that we present here are not so optimistic. This is, as we mentioned before, a traditionally male sector. And even if we are lately changing and more women are being recruited, it's mainly in the financial, marketing, and HR fields. Little by little, they are coming also more to technical fields, but it's still taking time. So we are far to achieve gender equality, and further efforts need to be carried out. That's why we are here today also. In the research arena, in the region, we have, a bit higher figure, because we have 30% women as an average in the research organizations. And of course, this changes from one field to another. But even in one of the corporations of which I am a member of the board, which is called Tecnalia, and has some agreements with some of the speakers here in Nepal, I heard last week in a meeting that we have 40% of women among the researchers. I think this is quite a good figure. So this is also a field in which we are working hard in the region. But what are we doing in AIC? Which concrete measures we have, how are we approaching it? Well, we have really a very active policy to attract more women to the industry. Obviously, we don't need to make so many efforts to attract men, because this is an industry, as mentioned before, that is obviously quite attractive, generally speaking. But as our philosophy of a center, as an open innovation center, as it was also pointed out before by Mr. Susha, is to integrate diversity. We need to have differences from a cultural, different point of views, gender point of views, disciplinary point of view, position in the value chain, new agents involved in mobility issues. That will give us an outcome which is richer and will help to make innovation happen, because we talk a lot about innovation, but there are not so many ways and so many tools to make this innovation come true to market, and especially in a very, let's say, accelerated way. That's why we have created AIC. And I can personally tell you that in my team, well, I'm the CEO of the organization, and in my team I have 60% of women. This means that we've been able to show them that this industry is a place where they can develop their career, and it's a place where they can really make this innovation happen, as I mentioned before. We have been already pointing out, and in some of the previous participation, it's been mentioned. I will not go deep into it, but there's two main lines in which we are working to attract female workforce to our industry. And first of all, it's to increase the attractiveness of the sector. The perception of women is still, for the automotive industry, is still worse than the perception that men have. So we are working to overcome these psychological barriers, and we do it through mainly, first of all, the dissemination of the car industry advantages. We keep repeating that this is a place where they can develop their career, as I said before. There are many benefits, career opportunities, pleasant working atmosphere, long-term jobs, security, good work-life balance. Well, I mean, at the end, we think it's a very attractive industry. There's job in this industry. We are in a moment in which we are in crisis in Europe. So I think it's interesting to say that in this industry things are working quite okay. So this is interesting also for us as a sector to attract this part of the let's say, of the feminine side. Second, collaboration with schools and universities. We are in continuous interaction with schools and universities to bring the car industry closer to the young society, focusing on ladies. young ladies. So we are organizing employment fairs, professional counseling, some kind of contests, or all-title contests, sorry, and so on, to try to bring our industry closer to our young students, female students. And third, we are also making big efforts in the recognition of women as references at a local, at a European, and also at a European level. We have created some special awards for women who are doing it well in our industry, and well, we've been doing it for the last years. And also we are hardly working with the media to give them visibility. And they could be good models to be followed by a younger generations, let's say. Also, we are working to promote the specialization of the auto industry at all levels, but especially focusing on attracting women. Well, you can see several examples of different programs that we are supporting. I think we are running out of time, so I will not stop. Maybe if there is time later on, I will be happy to answer to your questions. But there is one in which I would like to stop, which is the one on internship that we are having with a university in India, which is the Cummings College. And in this Cummings College, it's an engineering school, and all the pupils are female students. So we have this program with them. So they are coming over to spend some time with us. We give them a training program on the automotive industry in general, and then they are doing an internship in some of our companies. So this is a very practical measure, and it shows that we are not working in our field here in Europe, but also worldwide, because this is a global industry. Okay. So to end, this is the last. Because at the end, what we are really trying to do in the automotive industry is to attract talent. And of course, as mentioned before, male talent is coming easy to the car industry, not so much female, so that we are now pushing hard to try to attract this female. And I'm sure that many of the outcomes coming from these meetings like this will be very helpful, and we really need to make efforts to do it. Thank you very much for your attention.